Let's go. All right. Hi, welcome to our Yoga for Everybody session today. Let's get started. We have begun a new theme. It's March 1st. We are detoxing. So we're going to start with a nice big breath. Open your hands. Inhale in through the nose as much as possible. Big breath in. And then exhale, sweep the arms back. Try to exhale from the throat and relax your jaw. Big inhale. Exhale, open the throat. Exhale as if you're going to try to fog a mirror. Keep that rhythm. And notice that we're not having any gaps in the breath. In fact, we might be moving faster than your own natural rhythm because we're trying to speed up the metabolism. Inhale up. Exhale as if you're fogging a mirror. And really push the belly button in with that exhale. 2 more. 1 more. Big exhale with a ha. From here, we're going to do, it's called a ha-re-om. You don't have to make the sounds. For those of you who may be joining us today from a more quiet place. I know some of these movements people have told me are really odd when you do them at your cubicle. But this is going to involve a pumping action and a pressing action down into the floor. So we're going to open up. The first movement is here. You inhale. And then you exhale a little bit. Inhale, arms up. And then 1 big exhale. So it's going to be, sometimes people don't do a little exhale between the two, but at least try to exhale a tiny bit, so that you don't get barrel chested or even trigger a panic attack. We don't want to push too much air into the body. So this is what it looks like when we go fast. Okay, so we're going to do 10 of them. Traditionally, we're going to start slow and then it's going to speed up. So I'm going to count the 10. You just keep going. Take your feet out to maybe a little wider stance. Good. All right. Soften through your knees. Arms are going to come open. Let's exhale all the way. Now big inhale. I can't hear y'all breathing. Big exhale. Little faster. Last 3 as fast as you can. And now relax. Cool stuff, right? That is a traditional Sufi or Buddhist technique to flush toxins out of your body. Let's come to standing with our feet open to just the width of your pelvis bones. So if you notice where the fleshy hip is, we don't want the feet that wide. It can put too much pressure on your hip. Let's inhale the arms up and overhead. Big breath in. Try turning the palms back, elbows forward, and keep a little bit of a softness in the shoulders. Let's step your left foot back. Bend your right knee. Notice that your left hip might be a little open, so try pressing that left hip in towards your right thigh. And as we do this, lift your back foot and turn the heel behind you. So we're repositioning the bone in the leg up into the hip, hopefully taking some pressure out of your low back and pelvis. From here, inhale, reach up. Exhale, little twist over to the right. Lower the hands down, putting the right hand on your right hip and the left hand across to your right thigh. I promise I'm saying the left and right correctly, but I'm doing the opposite of you. Let's roll that right shoulder back. Press the left shoulder in over your right thigh. Now, as we do this, again, if you're noticing any discomfort in your left hip, knee, ankle, or foot, we may need to lift the foot and turn it behind us even more. This will take some pressure out of the knee. It could create pressure in the right hip when you do this. That's natural. From here, option to straighten that right leg just a little bit, nice and slow. Notice if your knee starts to lock out, keep a tiny micro bend in that kneecap. Now, from wherever your gaze is, only shift your eyes towards the right, just a little bit with half your effort. So avoiding maybe the impulse to shift your eyes all the way to the right temple, only shift that gaze about halfway within your field of vision. Hold on to that spot where your gaze is, and now turn your head to align with that focal point. Keep holding it there. Push into the inner blades of your feet and pull the muscles up in your pelvic floor. Add in another shift with the eyes, only halfway. Steady the gaze. And now turn the head. We have one more of those. Push into the inner blades of the feet, pull up through the pelvis. Little shift through the eyes to the right. Fix the gaze, and now turn the head again. From here, we have hopefully close to our optimal rotation in the neck. To layer onto this, you are welcome to take your right hand away from your hip and reach back behind you. Taking the hand away from the hip does create more of a balance challenge. Press the left shoulder over the right thigh a little more, and notice if you can pull that right arm back behind you while that left shoulder keeps pressing over. Thumb is facing up on that right hand, as if you're going to shake someone's hand behind you, giving the thumbs up sign. Breathe into the upper right lung. We're holding this one a little longer. Start to find the breath under your left shoulder blade. Breathe into that place. And when you're ready to come out safely, lower the right hand first. Slowly begin to bend that right knee, and then slowly unwind through the trunk of the body to center. Hopefully you're feeling something in your right hip. We're digging into the IT band, piriformis, and quadratic lumboris. Let's step forward. Shake out the knees. Feet are open just to the width of those pelvis bones. Oh, good, we're getting warm. Inhale, arms up. It's working. It's working. From here, stepping the right foot back this time and bending that left knee. So there is a lot of magic that can happen in this pose with the right foundation. Let's start with the foundation. Lift that right heel, turn it back behind you, and then drop it down again. Now it is possible for some of us to maybe have the heel out more to the side and the toe in facing your left heel. That's okay, because eventually this will be a twist. Let's turn the palms back, a little bend in the elbows. Keep that lunge forward. Inhale, pull up your ribs. So we're really stretching the intestines. We want to stretch the intestines. That's how we absorb nutrients even better. One more big inhale. Exhale, let's lower that left hand to the left hip. Take the right hand across. And just create the gentlest twist that your body would want to express for now. Fix the gaze into a neutral spot with your sternum or collarbones. So at this point, you won't see me, and that's okay. There's more to feel than there is to see. That's where all the intelligence is. Tune into the feeling. Pause here. Think about shifting the eyes towards the left, only with half of your effort within the field of vision to the left. Fix the gaze. Now turn the head to line up with that focal point. We have two more like this. Pause, push into the inner blades of the feet, pull up to the pelvic floor. If there's any pain in that right knee, hip, ankle, or foot, lift the right foot at this time, your right heel, and turn it behind you a little more so that that right toe is angling in more towards your left heel. Let's shift the eyes to the left again, half of our effort. Pause, turn the head. Just one more, shift the eyes. Pause, turn the head. From here, option to begin extending that left leg without locking out the knee joint, keeping a little bit of a softness or a little bit of a kink in that joint. Act surprised, 1, 2, 3. Little bigger lift in the rib cage, very nice. Let's extend that left arm back behind us as if we're getting ready to shake hands with someone behind us. Press the right shoulder over your left thigh and maybe even feel that right hip twisting in towards the inside of your left knee. Keep pressing into the inside blades of the feet. There are muscles that are being recruited here that go from the soles of the feet to the toes, between the toes, up to the pelvis, all the way up into the head itself. Pressing back through that left arm a little more. Pause here to feel for the breath in your upper left lung. And now find the breath under the right shoulder blade. Twisting poses are magical and powerful all on their own with very little effort, but when we add in the effort, you may start to really feel some different things. We're not going to call them good or bad. We're just going to say different. When you're ready, lower that left hand to the hip. Let's create a small bend in that left knee. Keep pushing into the inside blades of the feet, and then gently rotate the trunk of the body as one unit. If you notice a difference from left to right hip, very common. Let's step forward. Whoop. Shake off the legs. Bringing our feet now wider than the hips, as wide as your clothing will permit. I know on some of these yoga days, our clothing doesn't necessarily permit us to get a nice wide stride. The most important thing with this stride is to look at our toes. We want the toes forward, both toes forward and in. For those of you who are having to sit a lot, we're trying to promote more circulation in your low back and legs and take pressure off your spine and hips. So toes forward and a little bit in. Hands come onto the hips. We're gonna create just a little symmetry in the body to counter our twist. Push the hips back, pause at maybe 10% of your effort, pause there. At that point, attempting to unlock the pelvis by flipping your tailbone back. The belly is going to drop. Hands can stay right here on the hip for support, or maybe put the hands on the thighs with the elbows bent. Straightening out the arms a little bit, we're propping up the ribs in the upper back. So not only are we promoting more of a neutral low back, more space, less pressure, we're also strengthening the upper back, which can start to hunch over time. I know this feels funny. This is not a position that you would get into just for the fun of it. You would definitely not probably put this as your profile picture on social media, but it is considered a corrective exercise for the spine. Try a big inhale here, big breath in. Exhale, lower a little bit. Notice the body is naturally going to lift on the inhale. Big breath in. Exhale, relax a little. One more, big inhale. Final exhale, relax into the stretch. So maybe keep the hands on the thighs. This way at any time, if we notice that our spine could use a little more support, you can always push into the legs and bring your body up. Otherwise, try to hang loose like a rag doll. Hands can stay on the thighs, or if you'd like to experiment, walk those hands past your knees to the shins. Maybe even let the hands dangle down towards the floor, and they may or may not touch the floor. Nothing magical happens if we touch the floor. I promise you, nothing magical happens. Exhale from the throat. Relax the head, shake it yes, and turn it left and right. To safely exit this pose, hands go to your thighs or shins. Turn the heels in and the toes out. Bend the knees. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Bring the arms up overhead, palms forward, 5-pointed star. As we exhale, bend the knees in the same direction as mostly your middle 3 toes. But when we have shoes on, I would dare to say bend your knees towards your pinky toes and keep pushing into the inner blades of the feet. Draw the elbows in as if you're trying to pull a bar behind your head, like a lat pull down. Inhale, reach up, big breath in, open up, pull up your ribs. And then exhale, bring it down. Let's do a few more of these. It'll be 6 to 8 more. Big inhale, act like you're barrel chested. Breathe into the heart. Pull up your ribs and open up. And then exhale, bring it down. Option to close the eyes once we've seen the movement. And once the body has had a little bit of a rehearsal with this, you're always welcome to close your eyes. Vision is such an incredible gift, but it can be such a big distraction in yoga. It can distract us from the felt sense. Let's do maybe just 2 more. Inhale, reach up. Just when you think you've reached all you can, is it possible to go a little more out of the armpits and out of the ribs? Last one, big inhale, reach up. And now exhale, bring it in, hold it here. Let's take the right hand and tuck it into the low back. Turn the left palm up and just twist over towards your right knee. Now, already at this point, notice what's happening with the lower body. What will usually happen because of tightness in the spine, hips, shoulders, and neck, everything that gets tight when we have to sit in front of our computer, what'll happen is your left knee is going to start to twist in. Like Elvis, we call it the hound dog movement. This ain't nothing but hound dog. So what you try to do is instead press that left knee back towards your left pinky toe. Keep both knees bent, squat low. Swivel only at the waist. There won't be a lot of movement from the waist. Push the left hip back. Press your right hip forward. Sometimes it feels like Simon Says, right? From here, reach across just a little more. You're only going to breathe into that upper right lung on the front side of the body. Inhale, it's a shallow breath. Exhale, let it go a little. Keep pressing that left knee towards your pinky toe. 2 more. Inhale, upper right lung. It's not a big breath. 1 more. Now bring it to center. Both elbows are in by the waist. Let's find some symmetry. Palms forward. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, pull it down. Keep pressing into the inner blades of the feet while you feel your knees pressing out towards the pinky toes. Inhale up, close the eyes, resetting the nervous system. This is a hard reset for the mind to body connection, some symmetry with some movement. 1 more, big inhale. Exhale, hold it in that down position. Let's refine the twist, just like we did before. Left knuckles go to the low back. Reaching out in front of the body, palm up. Naturally, what will happen because of tightness? This tightness is from the left hip to your upper right shoulder. That's what we're targeting. So as we twist, again, the little Elvis movement, that right knee might start twisting in. So keep pushing that knee back and push the right hip back as well. Keep twisting. It's a gentle swivel at the waist. The waist actually doesn't have a lot of mobility. It doesn't. What has a lot of mobility? Shoulders. So we think we're doing a big spine twist, but it's a shoulder twist. Keep pressing the knees out. Push down into the inner blades of the feet. Imagine, keep your hands where they are, but imagine you're trying to pull your thighs up and round them back. Squeeze your buttocks muscles. Reaching across a little more, drawing that left shoulder back. Press the right hip back, right knee back. The breath is shallow in the upper left lung. It's okay. The bigger breath is not always the better breath. And it's okay to get warm. Relax your jaw. You know who you are out there in the audience. Relax. Hold it a little more. Again, the bigger breath, not always the better breath. When you're ready, slowly bring it around to center. Hands to the thighs. Find your low back, flip it back a little bit. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bring it down. A little bit of symmetry to reset. 2 more. Inhale, reach. Exhale, down. One more. Inhale, reach. Exhale down. We're going to change this up a little bit, adding in a forward fold. I'm going to show you what it looks like from the side. We're inhaling up. And as we come down, we're pushing the hips back, sweeping in front of the body, keeping the ribs, the shoulders, and the head lifted. So avoiding any impulse. You know who you are out there, you OCD cleaners. Avoid your impulse to come down and swiffer. Okay? Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bring it in. Flip the hips. Keep that head lifted and sweep just the arms. Inhale up. Bring it down, hips back, swiffer movement, but not to the floor. Inhale up, elbows in, hips back, swiffer. Notice which arm is dominant, switch it out. Exhale down, left arm in front. Inhale up, exhale down, right arm in front. Two more, inhale up, down, swiffer, left arm in front. Inhale up, come down, swiffer, right arm in front. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, relax your hands to the side. Let's step to center. Feet are just to the width of those hip bones. In closing, we're going to do a breathing technique called Kapalabhati. This is considered an advanced breathing technique in yoga, and it looks really funny. So if you're at a cubicle today, people might look at you funny, but you know what? If you're worried about people looking at you, close your eyes, because then you don't see them looking at you. And then it just makes everything better. So this breathing technique, translated, Kapalabhati, means the breath of fire or the skull shining breath. It's supposed to lift brain fog so that you can think clearer during the day. So this is how we want to begin. Put your hands maybe 2 inches above your belly button. So you have your rib cage here. We want the hand to be in that soft spot. This is the area that's going to move, stimulating solar plexus energies. Now go ahead and pant like a little dog. This reminds me of that movie, Coming to America. Do y'all remember that? It's a certain generation of us that know that part of the movie where it says, pant like a dog or bark like a little dog. Okay, so just pant real light and you're going to feel a flutter. That feeling that you feel here, we want to feel that same feeling, but now close your mouth, take in a half inhale, and now start to pant like a dog, lips together. This is for toning the abdominal muscles too. Relax. I can see looks of confusion on some people. They're like, what? Okay, now back. Stick your tongue out, pant like a dog. Now close your mouth. Just 5 more, 2, 1, and now relax. All right, let's bring our hands overhead. Big inhale to close. Exhale, sweep it back. 2 more, big breath in. Exhale back. Last one, big breath in. Inhale up. Draw the hands to heart center, traditional closing gesture. Thank you for joining me today. More detox the whole month of March, spring cleaning, mind, body, spirit, and your house. Namaste.